We, the Cypher Lords of the Sovereign Reign, are here to conquer and vanquish you. We will take the rooftops back. We will show you who the true rulers of the darkness and the shadow are. Rah! That's crazy talk. We're in charge here and no one else can take over. What makes you think you are in charge? You have no paint on you. Clearly we are the chosen faction. Hey, I've got paint on me. Shut up, the parents are talking. Sorry. Paint means nothing. It is dice rolls that matter. The dice will be in our favor, for we collect trinkets, and dice are trinkets. Therefore, we will come out on top. That is foolish. Truly foolish to think that anything is more important than paint. Well, if paint is what matters, then clearly I am the superior here. Look at you! Brah, look at you! You're covered in dust! Has anyone even played with you in the last 5 years? No, shut up. I've been scheming in my dark shelf lair. This is enough. On with it. Let's begin this battle and see who will reign the rooftops.
All right, welcome to round 3 of the exploit of the Cypher Lords as they travel to the 8 points to see if they can supplant themselves as the spies in the House of Thieves or Knives. It's hard to remember all this stuff. This is crazy. I'm cross-referencing all the time. But anyways, welcome back. I hope you're excited. I wrote a little narrative for this battle. So in order to supplant the current Seers in Archon's fortress, the Cypher Lords must learn the name of a contact who knows a way through the walls. They have heard the leader of the Eerie Eyrie knows of such a woman. The Sovereign Reign has entered Carngard, a cesspool of anarchy, murder, and villainy. In a show of strength, they must best the roof-runner gangs of the Corvus Cabal to display dominance by holding higher ground. Only in a show of superiority will they gain the information they desire. So the Cypher Lords are on their first convergence. The first convergence is a higher ground and a show of strength, as you should have gathered from that little narrative. So I've already set up, I've already deployed the Cypher Lords and the Corvus Cabal. What we're playing for is at the end of every turn, each player scores 1 victory point for each fighter from their warband that is on a platform at least 3 inches vertically above the battlefield floor. Setup has already been dictated. There's a lot of battlefield square footage that is 3 inches off the ground, as you can see. The battle will end after 3 battle rounds. When it ends, the player with the most victory points wins the battle. I am going to be keeping track of the victory points on these 10-sided dice right here. Hopefully you can see them from the overhead camera. I will try and just remind you of the points at the end of each turn and the beginning of each turn as well. Deployment is done. The twist, no respite. These 2 warbands are fighting high up on the rooftops. They're battling it out. Nobody wants to take a break. There's going to be no opportunity to heal. I cannot use the respite universal ability. Now, this is my first battle with the Corvus Cabal. I have put a lot of time into figuring them out and reading their rules, but this is my first time seeing them and playing them on a battle map, so let's see how it goes. They seem tough. They seem really, really tough. And I'm probably not going to get the unit name right in this one when I'm referring to the models. So bear with me on that one, folks. But let's dig in. Let's embrace the narrative and have some fun. One of the changes that I'm making is I'm going to do hero phase off camera and just roll the initiative dice off camera so that when we come back from each turn, you don't have to watch all that nonsense. I think it'll just speed us along. And this will be the last time I ever say that I'm eliminating the hero phase, because this explanation took as long as actually rolling the hero phase. So the Cypher Lords have a 5/5, and the Corvus Cabal have 2 doubles, a 2 and a 3. Cypher Lords got the initiative with like 4 singles, so they're going to have their first turn. This is going to be a pretty dull first turn, I think. There's just going to be a little bit of jostling for position. The goal here is going to be, obviously, the Cypher Lords want to kind of set up dominance, and so they're going to get as many models as they can up on the platform, and the Corvus Cabal love being up high. They're going to do the same. Now here's the kicker. The Corvus Cabal's abilities only really trigger if they jump off of a platform, so if I can keep the Cypher Lords on a platform, I'm going to be able to basically like nullify the Corvus Cabal's main abilities. So let's see how that goes. Let's check this out. Let's see this movement phase. All right, so the first movement phase, nothing really special happened. We had one of the Mind's Thralls just climb up onto the platform. He's going to hold this bridge. He's going to back in a Corvus, because if you hit someone with a critical when they're within an inch of an edge ledge, they can get knocked off, they can take more damage, and then they're down below. Another thing I learned, while I've been reading over the last couple days, is that if you are on the ground level and you attack someone who's above you, the person you're attacking gets a cover save because their whole body is being covered by the ledge that stands between you and the enemy. That's something I wasn't aware of, and that's something I haven't been doing properly in the past, so I got to remember that, especially for this game. All right, so for the first Corvus Cabal movement, they are definitely going to send one of their little pawns out. I'm just going to take a quick glance at the card here, double check their names. They are the Kabbalists. Ah, that's right. If they have a spear, they're a Kabbalist with a spear. If they don't have a spear, they're a Kabbalist. So they're going to run out a Kabbalist with a spear. The Corvus Cabal move 5 inches. These guys boogie. They're also ninjas. So 5 inches is going to get this little champ onto the first step, and then he's going to double move. I think that's a she. That one is actually a she-male. Not a she-male. Female. So we're going to boogie up onto the platform. And a double move from the Corvus Cabal is going to plant them. Also challenging the ledge. This ledge is going to be this bridge here. This is going to be great. I can see a lot of action taking place on this bridge. Well, we're going to move it over to the second Cypher Lord activation. And we're going to stick with the little pawns here. How come my brain's drawing a blank? Gush, gosh, gush, gosh. That one's in Mind Bound. So we're going to activate our second Mind Bound, who's going to have to use 2 activations. Nope, I can move 2 inches over and 3 inches up. Plot myself up here. And I know it seems dangerous, but I might just stay here. Yeah, that's cute. I'm going to end my activation right here. And that's going to put us over to the Corvus Cabal again, who I dare say are going to send another Kabbalist with a spear running at the stairs. Off you go, little Joe. Now I know their names. I don't know their names. I wrote them down. I named everybody. But it's a lot of stuff to remember. And I hope you noticed my painting is coming along. I got a whole bunch of flesh tone and the dark blue down on the Corvus. I was hoping to get more done. Oh gosh, this stuff takes time. And the Cypher Lords, I think, are in the last state that I put them. Actually, I painted up their wristbands, but I painted the wristbands with that that wash white, the what do you call them there? The contrast paints, the white, which had blue hue to it. I thought it looked really nice, but it just doesn't look painted. So I think I'm going to double back, and I'm actually going to do like a black on them like I had originally done with one of the first mirror blades. I prefer the way that that looks. So I think we're going to keep going that way. All right, and that's another Corvus Cabal done, which brings us to another Cypher Lord. Do I want to play the ground game? If I play the ground game for any reason, I'm sacrificing points. So it genuinely does not make sense. I'm going to take a 5-inch movement. I'm going to move up to here, and I'm going to keep myself open for a jumping attack. That is going to be the Cypher Lord movement phase. And now it is time for a Corvus Cabal. We're feeling a run. We got a double. If I use a double, the Corvus ignore vertical movement with a fast climb. Since they move 5 inches, if I ignore the vertical movement, I can get them on top of the platform in a move. So let's do it. Let's not waste that double. Let's get them up there. Boogie Yoogie. Okay, that's just a single move. So in a double move, he could make the bridge, but I still don't like it. It's still so sketchy. Even as the defending player, I still don't like that edge. So what I'll do is I will double move, but I'm gonna put him guarding the bridge. So that is the third Corvus activation. Over to the Cypher Lords, who are still just jostling for position. They're gonna play it safe, relatively speaking. They still have tricks up their sleeves. So 2 inches over, 3 inches up, gets my Thrallmaster. Is it a Thrallmaster? It is a Thrallmaster, I got it right. Oh gosh, this is gonna take time, but eventually they'll all dig in to my head. Thrallmaster is flippin' mean. You've seen him in the past. I'm pretty sure we watched him behead a guy in 1 turn. Okay, we're gonna do a double move and bring my Thrallmaster up. Getting a little bit closer. The Crow Ball is gonna use another double to get, yeah, because these guys are already close enough. So we're gonna fast climb this second. You know what, that doesn't make any sense because I'm gonna use both of their activations to move anyways. So we're gonna move, yeah, 3 inches over, and then for the second activation, it's 3 inches up, and then it's 2 inches forward. So basically in the same spot that I was gonna be. I just saved a double for somebody else, because who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? All right. Here we go, back over to the Cypher Lords, who are still just jostling for position. I do have a Thrall. The Cypher Lords are up 50 points because of their dominated territory. I should figure out a way to show you the character sheet. I've got it all on my computer. There should be a way that I can put it up online and post it so you can see where they're at and what their rosters are and what their points are. But they're up 50 points over the Corvus Cabal. They did really well in their last 2 games, so I decided to give them an edge against the unknown terror that is the Crow Assassins. So we're going to have a Thrall with us in this game, and Thralls fly, and when you fly, you ignore vertical terrain. So the Thrall that can move 8 inches can actually get, oh, can I get to within an inch? That's crazy. Can I do that? Whoa. 8-inch movement. The Thrall can get into combat. Is it a good idea? I mean, it's a pawn. Get it all the way out there and start engaging right away. We'll think about that. We are going to continue the jostle. We're going to run up on this platform here. This is going to be ridiculous. Turn 3 is going to be so silly. Okay, so we can go up 3 inches. We can go over 2 inches. We're balancing. We're going to double move. And we're gonna balance up on the ledge because it's funny. We're tightrope walking. We're cool like that. We're a Cypher Lord. They're very acrobatic. Once again, they're like magic ninjas. If you're not fully familiar with these kids, but you're a little bit familiar with Magic the Gathering, Cypher Lords are the blue deck. They're blue magic, which is kind of cool when you think about it that way. You can kind of wrap your head around how they work, especially with their like shadowy withdrawal. That is the end of the Cypher Lord. Activation number 4. So we're going to switch it over to the Corvus Cabal. Don't clean up those dice, Cody. Those are the... What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing something while I'm talking? Those are the initiative dice. Don't clean those up. Take a sip of my blood-filled skull here. Okay, Corvus activation. Let's bring up the rear. You move 5 inches if I use the double. I can get you to there. Probably just run you around 5 inches and then pop you up. Okay, so this is my Cabalist with the familiar. This crow is really cool. On a triple or a double or something, I'm not entirely sure. On a double, you can have this raven go and peck someone's ears and eyes, and it disables them from disengaging, which is huge in getting people up top and stuff like that. That might come in handy. That might actually prevent them from getting a Cypher Lord off the ground and onto a topper level if they can keep them pinned down and engaged. So we're gonna run him around the back. He's totally Naruto running. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Let's just admit it to ourselves. And he's jumping up onto the rooftops because that is where we're going to play this pretty much whole battle out. Everyone's looking to get points right off the top of the game. The battle is even because of the Thrall. Otherwise, the Cypher Lords would have been outnumbered by 1, and then they would have gotten the advantage by 1 point on the first turn. Hopefully there's enough space up on that rooftop. Whew. Cypher Lords, what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do with you? Oh man, I can almost engage. You know what? In the effort of not forgetting this guy down here, we're gonna move him up to there. 1 move, and we're gonna keep him right there. And that's gonna be the end of that activation. Let's bring the leader. Move 5 inches in his first turn. Second turn, 3 inches up. 2 inches over. Fall. I gotta give you an insert of this. Give me a second. Look at this. He fell and his wing caught on the platform. Amazing. Hey. All right, so he's jostling up onto the platform. You're balancing like a nerd on this ledge right here. And we're back over to the Cypher Lords, who are still doing super tight positional jockeying. This is important, folks. This one is the convergence. If they win the convergence, they're going to get an item. They're going to get an extra special item. If we lose the convergence, we have to do it again. You must win your convergence to move on. It doesn't matter. Otherwise, we're going to keep replaying this. We don't want that. Let's not have that. We want to see the Cypher Lords come out on top here. So positioning is extra important. Corvus Cabal, you have 3 models left. Doesn't really make as much sense as I think it should, but well, why not? All right. Again, with the position game, over. I just up. There you are. That's your move. You're happy. Unless you could jump across. Oh, yeah. That's cool. So this is the stronger of the Corvus models. This is not just a Cabalist. This is a Spire Stalker. So the Spire Stalkers, I'm pretty sure they hit harder. Let's take a look at them. Their stats are down here. Can we zoom in on a... So the Spire Stalkers hit harder, and they're tougher. So we'll go back out to the wide. We're going to leap this Spire Stalker 5 inches across the gap. They love flying. They love leaping. And now we've got a strong guy at the helm of this fight. This is either going to be awful or awesome. I have no idea what right now. I just can't decide. We've got just 2 more Cypher Lords to move. The Luminant is just going to step forward. She's got a 2-inch attack range. These guys right here all have a 2-inch attack range. So they're going to be savage. Savage. Everyone can engage whoever walks across that bridge. And the Corvus got something to prove. So they're not just going to stand back. They really need to display a show of strength. And so do the Cypher Lords. So we'll see what happens. The Cypher Lords are trying to shake down the Corvus Cabal for information that this model has. That's our story. We're sticking to it. Okay, so you've moved. I'm not even going to put a marker on you because we're pretty much at the end here. This guy's stepping up We're gonna put you here. That's where you're gonna go. I like it. The last Cypher Lord to attack is actually the Thrall. What do you think? I could have the Thrall move in and attack. I could do it. You can move 8 inches. You can fly right up and start slapping that dude. But it's going to kill him. He's going to die. There's no way he's going to survive that. You never want to be the first one in combat. We got to play this smart, but I have to put him on the platform or I lose out on a point. I think I'm going to play it passive. I think I'm going to play it safe. I'm just going to climb him up to here. Now, because he can move 8 inches, so he can boogie out over. So that's it. That was a reasonably uneventful first turn, if by reasonably you mean absolutely. But we kept it quick for you because I knew that it was going to go that way. So I'm going to clear off the board. I'm going to roll up the hero phase for turn 2. And people are going to start bashing, swords are going to start clanging, bodies are going to be falling off ledges. This is going to turn into a rigmarole, a rigatoni. It's going to be a total glamoffery. Oh, before I take us away, totaling up the points, taking a look around. Oh, I did miss one model. The other Spire Stalker. It's a good thing I spent a minute here. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points. Oh, I don't have enough dice. Holy crap. I only have a D10 over here. I didn't think this was going to happen. And we also have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points on turn 1 for the Cypher Lords. I'm going to just lean over to my left here. And I'm gonna write that down because I don't have enough D dice. Okay, I know you didn't really go anywhere and it was just an edit between the end of that and the start of this, but welcome back for the top of turn 2. In the hero phase, we rolled some crazy crap. The Corvus Cabal rolled a quad 3. And both teams set aside their wild dice, so they got 2 wild dice going into this turn. The Corvus Cabal have a double 2, a double 1, and a natural quad 3. And the Cypher Lords got a triple 5, they've got a triple 1, and they have a 2 singles. The Corvus Cabal have forced these Cypher Lords to go first. Going first is not always the best, especially in a precarious situation like this where your footing is super important. So the Cypher Lords don't really want to go first, but rules are rules, and they have been forced into that position. So we're going to keep our ability dice down here at the bottom of the track, because I don't think any models are ever going to stand here. So it's really not that big a deal. And then you can see them from home. I wish I had a way that you could keep track of the score, but I don't because it's already way too high. So maybe at the end of the second turn I'll come up with a way. I'll figure something out. But for now, let's get into the action. Now, I've got some models with 2-inch attack range. You know, so that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty useful. Over here, we could potentially start the action. But man, I'm going to be standing on that bridge. And what I realized, I just dropped a card. Give me 1 second. So what I realized while I was doing the cleanup phase is it's going to be less about having your models on the platform and more about knocking your opponent's models off the platform. Also, if you're dead, you're not on a platform. So chopping your opponent's models in half effectively removes them from the battlefield. So I got a feeling. I think what I'm going to do is going to be over here. The Cypher Lords see an easy opening. They see weak prey. I feel like they see somebody that they can eliminate in one activation. And so I'm going to run my Mind Blade I'm gonna run my mirror blade along the bridge and just see if I can running chop one of these Corvus Cabals in half. I'm not gonna turn a triple into a double because I have some really cool tricks that I can do with triples. The Gloom Globe, reducing your opponent's attacks by 1 is gonna be really big because I'm gonna have to counter the Corvus Cabal's ability, which gives them an extra attack. This little clever Clum here, the main leader that's holding that blood dripping skull, there'll be blood dripping from it when I'm done painting it, I promise you that. He inspires anyone that around him to get an additional attack. So that's huge, and we're gonna need a way to counteract that. So I'm definitely gonna shatter that Gloom Globe when it comes to activating my leader, which means I'm gonna have to activate tongue twisters, which means I'm gonna have to activate my leader early on in order to get the most effect out of that. Well, I'm feeling it. I like it over here. I am going to activate one of my mirror blades. He's gonna dash across the bridge, wheeling back with that crazy sword of his. That thing has a natural 4 attacks base. It's strength 4, and this is a toughness 3 model. I'm not gonna turn that, I'm not doing it. I'm not turning a 3 into a 2. He moves 5 inches, which brings him within 1, but I wanna keep him outside 1 inch. I want him to have to come to me, which is gonna reduce the amount of attacks that they get on their turn. So I'm striding up, he's feeling it, he's feeling good, he's feeling confident, he's walking like a boss. He winds up for the swing. That's 4 hits. That is 4 hits that each do 2 damage. That's 2, 4, 6, 8 cleaving damage. Bust that greatsword right through the collarbone of that poor Cabalist. That Cabalist only had 8 hit points. That is a 1 hit, 1 kill, and I feel terrible that it's the only fully painted model on the Corvus Cabal side of the battlefield, but he is dead. That is Cabalist number 1, I think. I gotta number them. Yeah, the guy with his hand down is 1, the guy with his hand up is number 2. I gotta put little, what do you do? How do you identify your models at home, your pawns? I've seen guys put little skulls and they put 1 skull and 2 skull and 3 skulls. I like that. I just have to buy the skull box. Do you put little markings on their base? Let me know in the comment section what you do, because I gotta come up with a system. And I'm almost there. These guys are gonna be painted pretty soon. Well, that was huge. That was a chopped off dude. That was 2 activations for my boss, who is now in a rickety position. But boy golly, did he have an impact. Let's keep it happening. Let's keep it bumping. Let's play it out over here. This Kabbalist just watched his friend get murdered. I mean, he's not probably fully dead. We don't know that until it's all over, but he's injured. He's out of the fight, and this kid is angry. He's running up. He moves 5 inches. He's moving into fully engaged combat. He's landing on that bridge. He don't care. He's looking for a critical. He gets 4 attacks. 4 attacks is pretty good. He's angry. He just watched his friend die. He's getting an additional attack. He's going for it. 5 attacks. Oh, folks, there it is. That's what he wanted to get. I mean, he would have liked to have killed him, but he certainly made a big impact because, let's take a look in that dice box there. We're strength 3 against a toughness 3 model, which means we need 3 ups. We got 1 3, we got a 2, but we got critical. Criticals are how you knock people off of ledges. So that is going to deal 1, 2, 5 damage to this kid right here. 5 damage is going to get allocated to my Mind Blade, Mirror Blade. Mirror Blade number 2 takes 5 damage on the first round of attack. Guy comes in, kicks, punches, stabs, and hits him in the side of the head with his sword. Oh, unreal. That was 2 activations. I like it. I like it a lot. But what happens when you take a critical hit and you're standing within an inch of a ledge? You'd think I would have looked this up before I started this game, but I didn't. So I'm gonna look into the book. Okay, so here's what happens. The player controlling the fighter who took the critical hit rolls a dice, and on a 1, I'm both fighters, on a 1, that fighter falls. That's a 4. The mirror blade does not fall. If he had fallen, he would have taken impact damage, and he would have been off the ledge, which would have made him unable to score. And it's the end of the, he's already activated, so I couldn't get him back up on top. So that would have been devastating. Okay, that went all right. That went all right. Now we're looking at the Cypher Lords. We've got some action going on over here up at the top, and I like it. And my Cypher Lords can keep attacking that guy because he's got a 2-inch range. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna bring up our next Mirror Blade. We'll leave that there, we know. We're gonna move our next Mirror Blade up. He's gonna flank. Oh gosh, that's getting, somebody's just gonna fall off that inherently. He's going for the attack. Also has 4 attacks base. That's the same Mirror Blade that you saw before. This is, by the way, my heavies versus their pawns, their weaklings. This is a tough matchup over here. But on this side, it's some of their heavies versus some of my pawns. So we'll see how this goes. All right, you know the drill. 4 attacks base, strength 4 versus toughness 3. Let's see it. That's a crit. We were in the dice box. So that is a crit and 2 hits. On the criticals, the Mirror Blades do 5 damage and the regulars do 2. So that is 9 damage. That is another dead Cabalist. I did not plan this out. I deployed. That's how this happens. I follow the regimen. I follow the game. That's 2 Cabalists down. Ouch. They are feeling the hurt already. These Cypher Lords are flexing their muscles. They're flexing their calves. They got those big bodybuilder builds. They're getting into it. They're feeling the confidence to go all the way. But there's a lot more to still happen, folks. I think we're taking it to this side of the battlefield. Can he make it across the bridge in one stride? So the Spire Stalker out front can only move 5 inches and can only attack 1 inch. They do not have a 2-inch range with that sword. So I'm going to try and bring around this Cabalist who moves 5 inches but has a 2-inch range attack with the spear. So if I run her 5 inches, that's a lot of precariousness up in here, and then attack 2 inches, I can actually hit this model right here. So let's do it. The Spire Stalker, the Cabalist, sprints boldly across the bridge, stopping halfway across, menacing the Cypher Lords with his dagger and cawing like a crazy, deranged animal. Bird even. Oh my gosh. He lunges forward with his spear, striking at the Cypher Lord, balanced precariously on the edge of the ledge, brandishing a dagger and a throwing star. The Spire Stalker, the Cabalist, reels back 4 attacks on the base, jabbing menacingly. 2 hits land true. The Cypher Lord takes 2 damage. 2 little damages pecking at him. There's no fall check because there were no criticals on that attack. So you take a little 2 damage to the shoulder. 2 jabs with the spear were not enough to take out the little Mirror Blade. Nope, that's a Mindbound. 2 jabs with the spear were not enough to take out my little Mindbound, who stays on her ledge, keeps her footing, and keeps her head in the game. Now it is over to the Cypher Lords to show those Corvus Cabal that they mean business. Okay, what's it gonna be? I got an idea here. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think we're going to do that. I was thinking about sending that Thrall in again, but if that Thrall moves 8 inches up there and starts attacking, he's the only thing that they're going to be attacking, and that is going to be 1 dead Thrall, and I don't think that that's a good use of having him on this in this party. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we could throw throwing stars. That's not a good use of our time. We're not going to do that. I don't feel like throwing stars right now. But I do feel like Jabbing back. Oh, man, it is going to be drop city on this map today. There is no avoiding it. There's no way that they're not going to be falling. Oh. So I could leap this Cypher Lord over and start attacking, but once again, when you put your neck out, it's very likely to get cut off. Let's play it passive. Let's play it safe. We are going to step this Mindbound forward. He's going to step in. He's not stepping in. He's spinning in. He's dancing. He does a cartwheel. He lands. Brandishes his blades. Is it a she? Is it a he? I don't know. They're wearing masks. They're all cool. They're all flashy. Everything is awesome. We're going for it. We're only going to get one round of attack with this model, who has 3 attacks on the base. Strength 3 versus toughness 3, which means we need 4 ups. We need 4 ups, not 3 ups. 3 ups is if you're stronger. We got all of them. That's 2 3 ups and a critical. That means that we are doling out 5 damage to the Cypher, to the Crowball, to the Corvus Cabalist. The Cabalist. Right, they're the Corvus Cabal. So he's a Cabalist. Doesn't really mean much sense with anything else, but that's what they are today. Couple slices, couple slashes. The Corvus can't keep up with the flurry of magic daggers coming at him. He takes, what did I say? He takes 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. That's 3 hit points remaining. On a Cabalist with a spear. Cabalist number 1 with the spear. Let's take a look down here. Should be able to see the kind of damage that people have taken. I hope this is all legible. It'd be really cool if it was, because it would take a lot of time for me to build on-screen graphics, and it already takes hours to edit these videos as it is. So we'll see if I get around to the on-screen graphics, okay? We're just gonna have the fun for now. Oh, I rolled a critical. Let's see if that Cabalist falls. On a 1, he's going down. That's a 2. That's as close to a 1 as you can possibly get without rolling a 1, unless you count a 6, because then it's the others. Doesn't matter. I don't want to get into it. Okay, that is a lucky Cabalist, and it is now the rest of the Corvus' turn. Here's the kicker. Here's the big problem. Only the Spirists have a 2-inch attack range, and I might have made a mistake by putting a Spirist up front because I'm not used to playing as the Corvus Cabal, so I may have already made a mistake. But here's what I can do in order to keep them fighting. I'm going to have to use a double on this Cabalist to add an inch to my movement. Or do I need to? I attack 2 inches. If I move 5 inches, we're going to see this from the top. He moves up 5 inches, landing here, which actually puts him within a 2-inch attack range of this Cypher Lord here. All right, so I think we're familiar with them by now. They get 4 attacks. They're strength 3, and these guys are toughness 3. That means we're looking for 4s. He steps forward. He throws that spear out 4 times, landing 4 jabs. They all connect. This guy had already taken some damage. That's how many damage each? That's 4 damage. This pawn has 1 hit point remaining, and there is no respite. I cannot heal him. So he is in a bad position. 4 damage. Oh, and I'm just going to put I don't do math very well. 4 plus 2 is 6, so I'll replace this 1 with a 5. There we go. He's wounded. He's hurting. He's feeling really injured. I got an idea, and I think it's a good one. Okay. So for the Cypher Lord's activation, the Mirror Bound is playing tricks, and it's really important that I keep all of my models alive. So the Corvus Cabal thought that they were fighting a Cypher Lord, Mindbound, but in reality, he was never really there all along. He gets recalled through a puff of ninja dust to the back of the ledge to safety with 1 hit point remaining, and then the Cypher Lord hero strides forward to finish off this Cabalist who only has 1 hit point. Now the reason I'm putting my hero out in front like this is this bridge is now a lost cause. These Cabalists can't fight me on this bridge. I kind of run this thing. Is this a waste of using my hero right now? Possibly. But by using my hero at this point, I'm keeping one of my models alive, and that is extremely important because if he's dead, he can't score points for me. So I got to keep him alive. I'm missing a dice. There's supposed to be 5 of these dice, and I'm missing one. And I just don't know. So I'm going to have to roll one of these dice because the hero has 5 disgustingly awful attacks. So here they come. He's strength 5. Is he? Or is he strength 4? He's strength 4. This Cabal is his toughness 3. Unless these are all 1s, which they ain't. And you can even see that from the bigger overhead view. Just whirling dervish of blades and grenades and all kinds of bells and whistles and stuff. And this Cabalist gets sliced to death with 2, 4, 6 wounds on a model who only needed 2 more to go down. He is taken out of the match, and the Cypher Lord leader is now the front runner. That has created an opening, and if a Corvus Cabal... Okay, here's the hard one. You can't move through a model, and the Corvus Cabal don't gain fly. They can ignore vertical movement, but they don't gain fly. So semantically, this model right here cannot stand right here. But my Cypher Lords, if I use a double, do gain fly. My Cypher Lords can actually jump over the Corvus Cabal. So rules is written, the bridge is clogged, the Corvus Cabal cannot get through. And that's just how it is. You cannot move through a model. So, with that being said, the Corvus Cabal have a tough decision to make. And I'm going to have to think about this one off camera, so I'm not boring you. Okay, so I looked into it a whole bunch, and a fighter cannot move through another enemy fighter. And the Corvus Cabal do not gain fly. And when you use Swift Climb, they just don't count the vertical distance moved when a fighter is climbing. You do not climb over friend or foe models. So this bridge is jammed. These guys cannot get through. Okay, things are looking tough for the Corvus Cabal, but they're not letting up. They are going to have to think differently about how they want to approach the enemy. Right now, they do have less models. So at the end of this turn, they're actually going to get less points anyways. Now they got to think, do we want to hit the ground so that maybe we can come around the back and take out some of these weaker models in subsequent turns? Because if we're not killing Cypher Lords, we ain't winning. And so that's something they're going to have to think about. So this gal right here is not going to survive against the hammer that is this many Cypher Lords. So this is all points for the Cypher Lords, who are doing really well, I might say, but that's just because of a heavy matchup. If you were rooting for the Corvus Cabal, how do you feel right now? Let me know in the comment section how you feel in the middle of turn 2. We'll talk about that. Because right now I'm a little bit curious what they're going to do. All I can honestly think about is jockeying position. I can bring up this Spire Stalker 5 inches and land him here so that whoever does come across for the Cypher Lords is going to have a hard time next turn. And, you know, I feel it. I think that's what we're going to do, because the Cypher Lords can jump over. It can be done. Like, this beast flies 8 inches. That Thrall can get right in there, start mucking stuff up. So we'll see. And that's what's happening. Corvus Cabal Spire Stalker runs in, gets down low, bleats out a huge cacaw, challenges the Cypher Lords to step closer. Stop being such cowards. Archon doesn't hire cowards, he screams. If you want to fight us, come fight us. Bring the fight to us. Well, Cypher Lords hear it. Cypher Lords feel it. They move 5 inches, not 6. I don't have a double, I got a triple. I got one more triple remaining. So the Luminant's not going to be able to get up there and punch that last Cabalist until he moves forward. So we're going to leave that for later. We're going to see what that Cabalist does. The action is going to continue over here. And I think that what we're going to do is we are going to jump in this Mindbound. Ooh, or should we do the dual-wielding Mirror Blade? So if I do the dual-wielding Mirror Blade, he's going to have to use a double. He would have to jump. Whereas this, he's going to leap over a model. Whereas this Mindbound here can actually move straight through by jumping over the gap. So in order to maximize my allowance, I'm going to leap this Mindbound forward into the gap. Get away from my leader. Watch out before I cut you. She's going to jump in all stylishly. It's like an aerial cartwheel as she lands, displaying her bravado as she does, hissing strangely behind a golden mask. She unleashes a flurry of attacks. 4 attacks with strength 3 versus a Spire Stalker's toughness 3. That means 4 ups to hit. We got 3 of them. We got 3 of them. The Mindbounds only do 1 attack each, so that's 3 damage to the Spire Stalker, who isn't dead. So we're going to put a dead mark. Let's go out to the wide. We're going to put a dead mark on the first one who's gone down, and we're going to put 3 wounds on the second one, who takes daggers to the side, stabbing into his kidney. It's disgusting. It hurts. Oh God, it hurts so badly. And that is another activated Cypher Lord. Now, the Corvus Cabal have to think, what are they going to do? How are they going to make up for lost men and women, for fighters? This is tough. This is crazy. This crazy Flappy Bird in the back here, it is best served when there's enemies below them. If there's someone below them, this guy can destroy and utterly wreck. But the Cypher Lords are keeping their balance, showing their strength, and they're really taking the fight to the Corvus Cabal here. I am impressed. I am very impressed, and I actually don't know what to do. I got 1 inch range. I only have 1 inch range. Let's look to the cards, okay? Let's take a minute. Let's see what we can do. I just remembered something awful. It's really hard to remember the injuries. Mindbound number 2 has a gut wound, so it only has half their starting hit points. Technically, Mindbound number 2 would be dead already. That changes a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to have to just forget about the gut wound. But I'm bringing it up because you at home might remember that Mindbound number 2 has a gut wound, and then you're like reminding me, and I'm going to be like, but I'm going to leave this in the video so that I can acknowledge that this model is supposed to have half her hit points, but the next play I'm about to do is going to address that fact by probably killing her. So we're going to just let it play out, because here's what's going to happen. Crazy swoopy Birdman, who is called the Shrike Talon, is going to burn the Corvus's quad. He is going to make a bonus swooping attack. We're using that as a triple. So they get to make a bonus move of 8 inches. He's flying through the air, lands 8 inches from whence he began. You still have to roll for impact damage. They don't gain fly. So on a 4, 5, or a 6, he's going to take 1 wound. So the Shrike Talon takes 1 wound as he lands on his weird stilts, flying from the sky as he is. He gets a bonus attack, but there's no one in attack range. But now he gets to make a move action, and he moves 8 inches. So he's flying up 8 inches. That's right. He's getting right in there. That was his second. That was his first action, and now for his second official action, hey, I found those other dice. He is going to make an attack on the Mindbound here, and we're gonna address the fact that he should have been dead a long time ago by killing him. This is 5 attacks. He's strength 4. She's toughness 3. That one's a he, no boobs. He's toughness 3. Let's see how this goes. 3 ups, 1, 2, 3, and a critical. He flies in, he stabs with his fingers, and he digs his crazy friggin' foot claws in and just murders this friggin' Mindbound off the back. Absolutely dead. And he has found himself up on a platform as a result. That was a daring play, but it did remove a model. And I would have attacked. We're having fun here, okay? I was looking in to see what abilities, what artifacts my Cypher Lords have, and I realized, oh no, 2 of these guys are supposed to be injured. So, you know, sometimes we make mistakes. We're all human here. So that was a huge play from the Corvus Cabal, and it is the Cypher Lord's turn now, and I have a feeling I know what's going to happen. Okay, that was big because now I have to fight one of their toughest models, and he's in the middle of my domain, which means I'm going to have to turn around. And here's the biggest problem. Most of my strongest models are on this side of the map, and I'm about to get outnumbered, outsorted, and outcawed. I'm going to get outstrength on this side of the match. So this is about to get interesting, folks. Let's see what we can do. I'm activating my Mindbound here. I do have a triple. I could turn my triple into a double because I don't think I want to shadowy recall anybody for any reason, not on this turn. Only this model can shadowy recall right now who hasn't gone, and I really want to bring models onto this side of the battlefield. So I got to make some thinkity thoughts here, and I'm just going to use this triple as a double for 1 extra attack. Because I'm already within 1 inch of this Shrike Talon, I get full attack strength with this Mindbound. I know this probably doesn't sound fair because that model's supposed to be dead, but I'm the one playing here, and this is how I want my story to go. So this is the solution that I came to, because it would have changed this whole bridge dynamic. If I said that model was dead, everything would have been different. So I couldn't do it. I had to leave things the way they were because that model staying there was blocking things. So that's just how it has to be, and I'm sorry about that. So here's what we're doing. The dual-wielding Mindbound is now just absolutely cheesed. Tzeentch took one of his friends away. Everything that happens to these people is because of Tzeentch's decision. He's mad at that Corvus Cabal. He's winding up. He's got how many? So many attacks. So many attacks. This guy has 4 attacks base. That's 4. Nope, that's not you. What's your model, dog? You have 5 attacks base. Holy crap. By the way, we're looking at this card right here. I'm pointing at it. You can see it on the screen. This guy has 5 attacks base. We're getting 1 additional attack each round of attack. We're strength 4. We're going up against toughness 4. That means we need force to hit. Let's see what happens. Oh, just landing, hits, feathers, flying, blood, spurting, cause, bleeding. This is awful. This is absolutely savage. 2 attacks don't hit in the first round, but we deal out 4. 8 plus 4. We deal out 12 damage to the Shrike Talon. That was massive. We're going to flip that 1 over into a 3. And that guy has taken 13 hits, and it is now the second round of attack from the Spire, from the Mindbound. I did not think that he was going to get obliterated like this. I am sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Let's see what happens. Another critical and another hitical and a whole bunch of misses. He's curled up in a ball. He's got his feathers up. Swords were glancing off, but a couple of them hit, and one sinks right into the heart of the Spire Stalker, and he falls backwards dead off the ledge. Because those hits deal another 6 damage, and he only... No, he's not dead. Are you kidding me? He didn't die, because I did 6 damage. 13 plus 6 is 19. He's not dead. Oh my gosh. The Mindbound missed his heart by an inch, and unbelievably, am I doing my math right? 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 plus 13, yeah, that's 19. 6 plus 14 is 20. Wow. 1 hit point left. No respite. Nothing he can do to heal himself. The Corvus Cabal are going to have to activate him first if they want anything to happen. But, oh, I just remembered there's a Fury right here. Okay. Well, the Corvus Cabal don't have a lot of options because of how bound up we are. What they can do is, we could attack over here. This last Cabalist with the crow could get in there and throw down some attacks and try and engage that guy. Maybe land a critical and knock him off the ledge. I think that's the best course of action. That's what's going to happen. This Corvus Cabalist is going to sprint in at full speed. She's going to try and shoulder check this big monstrous mirror bound and see if she can knock him off the ledge. She gets 3 attacks because she's got that crow on her arm. Strength 3 versus a toughness of 3. The regular 4. Only 1 hit goes through. That little pickaxe just nicks him on the side, and that Mindbound takes 1 damage. He has already taken 5, so an additional 1 puts him a little bit closer to death than he was. That is a... Oh, gosh. Does that count? No, that doesn't count. That is another activated Cabalist, and we are now on to the Cypher Lords, who are going to nominate that Thrall. The Thrall, this is awesome. The Thrall gets 3 attacks. It's strength 3 versus that big fat toughness of 4. Now we need 5s to hit. We're going to get 2 rounds of attack though. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, the Thrall leaps on, gouging and biting and gouging its teeth into the neck of the Shrike Talon. He rips that larynx open, and the Cabalist, that Shrike Talon, falls dead, feathers in the air. He spits out a mouthful of black something, I don't even know. But that was 3 damage, which is enough to take him out. Good job, you crazy Thrall, you. You now have a movement of 8 inches, and you can fly. Here's the real question. Do you fly up as a distraction? I don't think so. I think that we're going to move you up to here to make enough room for maybe some of these Cypher Lords to leap over, because this model still has not activated. Okay, There we go. That is a gone Thrall, who just made his points back as far as I'm concerned. I know he didn't really do the kill, but he got the kill, and that's what matters. Okay, so if I was a Cabal leader whose name was a Shadow Piercer, what would I do? And here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to move 5 inches. I'm going to get to here. So on my next turn, yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Okay, so the Shadow Piercer is going to run and jump onto this ledge. So that on the next turn, when this model dies, because I think this model is going to die, he'll be able to leap into this gap, 5 inches, leaping. We're not going through models. We're not flying, and make her way into the fight. So she is going to move over to here, stand here, and we're going to put an activation token. We'll just put it on the ground. I don't need to deal with that. So now she has found her position. Which brings me to my 2 last Cypher Lord models. There's one last Corvus Cabal, by the way. So, my Mindbound with the Dual Glaive is going to leap across the gap for 1 action. Moves 5 inches. And then she's going to leap across this gap for another 5 inches, bringing herself closer to the real fight. And then it is now the final activation of the Corvus Cabal, who the Spire Stalker is going to run in and get himself a little bit closer to the action. Does that make any sense? It doesn't really make any sense. Why be on the bridge? And he just wants to get closer to the fight, right? Like, I was thinking about leaving him back there, because why not activate him? That's cooler. He's on the bridge. I like it. We're going to leave him there. That's the Corvus Cabal's activation. All right, a little bit of positioning there. And we are now going to look at the last Cypher Lords activation. I say this is becoming a boondoggle. There's not a lot of value in keeping any of the Cypher Lords on this side of the map. So my Luminant is going to kind of do the same thing that the last model did. 5 inches is going to put her over here, and then leaping another 5 inches. It's going to land her on this. So they made this game really awesome as far as interaction with the terrain and stuff. It's so fun. If you haven't played this game yet and you're watching me and you're on the third video, go find this stuff. As soon as we're social again, and by the time this video gets out, I think we are going to be social again. It took me a long time to put all this stuff together. Go to the club. Go play Warcry. People that play this game are super friendly. It's a very narrative game. It's a very non-competitive game as far as my interaction with it has been. Somebody in that club will probably let you play as one of their armies. That's how I got introduced to it. Some of the guys down at the local game store, this is my cat Miso, some of the guys down at the local game store let me borrow one of their factions, and we did a little demo game, and I loved it. So I went out, got as much stuff as I could. I've been getting my friends involved, and here I am playing the game alone because I enjoy it so much. There's my cat again, Miso. Yeah, you can just stay there. That's fine. Just stay there. Okay, so that was the last activation for the Cypher Lords, and the Corvus have absolutely no more models that they can activate. This was actually a good move. I was curious about jostling him up here on the bridge, but it has prevented another model of the Cypher Lords from jumping in and taking up that vital position. Going into the second turn, whoever wins the initiative, this is going to be really important. We're going to do the initiative rolls live. I'm not going to edit them out this time because whoever gets to go first is going to have a big impact on the third turn. So I'm going to do cleanup, and when we come back in the blink of an eye, we're going to be rolling the hero phase. Okay, while we were in the cleanup phase, I tied it up a little bit. I flipped over the cards of the dead, and I did the tabulation for the score at the end of the second turn. The Cypher Lords have picked up another 8 points for having 8 models off the ground, and the Corvus Cabal picked up 5 points, which means in order for the Corvus Cabal to come out on top, they're going to have to kill at least 3 Cypher Lord models this turn without taking any casualties themselves. I can see one model who's going to die, but this could go any way. We do not know at this point. So let's take it to the initiative roll live and on camera. The excitement is palpable. My palms are sweaty. I don't know about yours. I'm having a good time, and that's why I'm doing this. So let's do it. Let's see it. Starting with the Corvus Cabal, we have got a quadruple 5. That quad was instrumental in murdering a model last turn. This guy was wasted. I'm sorry. If you only knew how much damage he could do, holy cow. But this is not their game. They want to be fighting something below them. So they drop kick the ever-loving crap out of whoever they're fighting. It kind of goes to waste if their model that they're fighting against is on a ledge as well. But hey, you only play the cards you dealt, and you only hit on the dice that land up above the number you're trying to roll above. You're not in control of everything when you play Warhammer games, and that's kind of the fun. So, what do we got? We got a quad and a double, and then they're going to have 1 wild dice, but that doesn't happen till later. Now, we're going to roll the Cypher Lords. Oh, a 666! Huge. I needed that. We absolutely needed this for the Cypher Lords because now I can use Shadowy Recall and I can bring a model from 12 inches away. Yep, you guessed it. That model is 12 inches away and I can land them anywhere within 6 inches. I can put them on this platform. I can put them back here. I can get somebody in this fight that wasn't in the fight, and that is why the Cypher Lords are the blue magic deck. This is flippin' awesome. And with a triple single, Cypher Lords are going first. There is no question about it. Nothing that the Cypher Lords can do with a wild dice, or the Corvus Cabal with a wild dice, are going to let them go first. So we're going to make a 3-3. Hopefully those extra move and attack actions, they're going to get, the Corvus Cabal are going to get 2 opportunities to have a bonus move and a bonus attack action. Let's see if they can make it count, because that could be huge. Super, super huge. Okay, where on earth do we want to start? By the way, I'm going to make a double 5. Unless I want to make a quad. Cypher Lords quad. So I put probably a lot more thought into it than I should, and I was really focusing on, do I embrace the narrative or do I play it safe to get the Cypher Lords ahead in the campaign, which is technically embracing the narrative at the same time. But then I started thinking about, like, let's do some logistics on this and think about it and consider the outcome. And as soon as I looked at how tough these Spire Stalkers were, the decision was made pretty plain for me. Their toughness 4 and they have 15 hit points. Yeah, I'm going to get 3 rounds of attack with my Mindbound, but things don't always go your way. Don't make your plans based on rolling 6s. I know I do 6 on a critical, but man, have I rolled mittfuls of 1s and 2s. So what could have happened if everything went according to plan was I just murder everything. But if everything goes according to Tzeentch's plan, I can land here and whiff, and just whiff, or like do like 5 damage on 2 dudes, and then they both are still alive. And now I've got 2 strength 4 models with 4 attacks base that do 4 on the crit, 2 on a hit, wailing on me, plus a hero who can circle around, get a bonus move, bonus attack, and then 2 additional rounds of attack on me. And I've got 3, 5, 7 rounds of strength 4 attack, 4 attacks each. What's 7 times 4, folks? I don't know, but it's a lot. And that would all be directed at my leader. There's nothing there about that. That's suicide. So I changed my mind. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that quad. I'm going to just leave that a triple. I'm going to make a double 5, and I'm going to start the game right here. And I'm going to activate my Mindbound first, who only has to do 5 damage on this Spire guy with a spear who from where he's standing can hit my leader. So now I got to decide if I want to throw down a double on this. And I don't think I do because I do have 4 attacks and I am strength 3 and he is toughness 3. So 4 ups and I only need 2 hits out of 8 dice. So let's do it. Let's start it right here. Round 3. The score is currently 9 plus 8 is 17, and 9 plus 5 is 14. 17 to 14. Corvus Cabal have lost 4 models, including their Shrike Talon. Cypher Lords have lost 2 models, and they've got 1 guy. Oh no, the guy that was down to 1 hit point is dead. They've got some wounded models. Actually, just 1 wounded model. The Cypher Lords are doing great. And the Corvus Cabal have a wounded spear guy. Here we are. Top of the turn. This is the last turn. So this is for all the glim glams and marbles. You've seen it on the wide. That's 2 criticals. That means that that Mindbound deals out 6 damage plus an additional hit. That's 7 damage on this guy who is dead. Well, he's taken out, but dead for all intents and purposes. We'll see what happens when we roll on the injury chart post-game, which I do for them to kind of keep track of what's going on. But in that first activation there, that guy died. Now here is the big decision. That was only that Cypher Lord's first activation. Okay? So they can move now. If I move forward, I'm going to give that Cabalist 2 additional attacks. Or 1 additional attack because you won't have to move. But if I step back, I actually am now, I just got to make sure that I keep people, oh you can't. I got to keep them an inch away from my leader. But what I can do now is now I've created an opportunity for my leader to flip over top of me with this double. And then my leader is only fighting 1 model at a time. So I think that that's what's going to happen, but it's also very likely that this guy is going to step in and start bashing that guy to death because I don't know where else anyone would attack. Also, let me know in the comment section, do you remember to use the universal ability Inspiring Presence, where you can have your leader attack and then activate somebody else, and then they immediately get to activate. It's a huge one, and I always forget about it. I'm trying really hard to remember it right now. That's the one I'm really working to remember. But we are about to see a Corvus Cabal theoretically murder a Cypher Lord. But who's it going to be? Is it going to be right here? Or is it going to be over here on the other side? I don't think this guy's going to murder, but this guy will definitely take out that Cypher Lord. And I'm feeling it. I want to see it happen. He steps in. He gets within an inch. The Spire Stalker is mean. He's lean. He's a screaming, killing machine. 4 attacks base. He's just making a basic attack. He runs up, again, Naruto style. Kusagi something. I haven't watched Naruto in years. You know it. I know it. 4 attack strength versus toughness 3, because this is one of my little ones. Here it is. Another Cypher Lord's going to get just hit in the face with a sword. 2 hits. Wait, what's his strength? 4? That's 3 hits. 3 hits land, 2 damage each, 2, 4, 6 damage. Does not kill, but very strongly injures my Cypher Lord Mindbound, who has done a wonderful job of tying up the bridge and has activated. I'm just going to put it there. You can see it. I can see it. I know it's there. You know it's there. And we all know that he's gone. Why is this here? That leader hasn't gone yet. That's the wrong spot for that. Okay, here's the dilemma that I'm in. The Cypher Lords are ahead, and they want to win. 100% they want to win. There are a couple maneuvers that I could do. There's a couple plays that I could make. But all of them open up the Corvus Cabal leader, that the Shadow Piercer, to get into my leader and get 3 rounds of attack on my leader. He's strength 4, 5 on the crit, 2 on the hit. She can absolutely hurt my leader with 3 rounds of attack. Because what would happen is, I'll just let you know what I'm thinking about so that you can understand. I can Shadowy Recall this little Mindbound back here, get her out of the way, and then I can walk my leader up and take 1 hit into this guy. Okay? All right, sweet. Probably not going to kill him. Might kill him. Who knows? 6 attacks on the crit, 5 attacks. Doesn't matter. Don't count on criticals. It's a 6. Right? We talked about this. But here's what happens. Now, that Shadow Piercer, is that what his name is? I just read it. Yep. The Shadow Piercer can move 5 inches, which will land her. They're both hers, actually. Both of the leaders are hers, which will land her behind my leader as a bonus move action. And then as a bonus attack action, she'll get to chop me in the back of the head. And then she'll get 2 full activations where she can attack. So that's going to be 3 rounds of attack right in the back of my head. And if this wasn't a solo game, I would know my enemy has a crit, has a 4 crit, has a quad, that's the word I'm looking for, and you're allowed to look at your opponent's cards. None of this is outside the realm of a 2-person game the way that I'm playing it. I'm strategizing it as if I were looking at my opponent and seeing everything they had as the Cypher Lords. And as the Cypher Lords, I would play it safe. Right now I have this bridge jammed. I know that it's a little bit crappy, but it's narrative. It is still a narrative to not want to lose your models. And thinking about the campaign going forward, if I get creamed here and I take a whole bunch of injuries, I got to carry that crap forward. And it kind of sucks, but I do have to think about longevity and playing it safe. My other option that I can do is just step my leader back. That'll be her turn. Shatter a Gloom Globe. And then I can have my Luminate jump in and jab from 6 inches away or 2 inches away. That's still pretty thematic. I feel like that's like leaders, you don't go out and rush into danger and get yourself killed. That's not leading. I don't know what that is, but that's just crazy suicide. So I'm having a bit of a tough time here deciding what to do. And I think that the best course of action is that which I just described. I'm going to, but here's the, can I actually, let's really properly measure this. Could they move 5 inches? No, they can't. She moves 5 inches. 5 inches will not get her onto that platform. She would have to drop and then climb up. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. So that would be 2 movements from the Corvus Cabal, but then it'll prevent me from getting that model in there, but I'll have their leader in suicide range. See, this is all, none of this is really looking good. Everything I just explained is still crazy. That would mean they'd put their leader into a suicide pact, and I'd be able to pummel, because this is a 2-inch attack range, and this is a 2-inch attack range. And I don't know if the Corvus Cabal would suicide their leader like that. Maybe they would. Let's find out. Let's find out. So I'm either going to activate over here and kill this dude, and then let a Corvus Cabal model figure out what the heck they want to do, or I'm going to activate my leader and step back. Let's steal away a Corvus Cabal activation. Let's attack over here. Let's have the Mirror Blade get all of his attacks on this poor Cabalist with a crow. This Mirror Blade has 4 attacks at strength 4 versus a toughness 3 Cabalist with a crow. That means I need 3s. winds up, just chops right through, literally just cuts the crow in half too, and right through the skull of that crow helmet and through the skull of the Cabalist, leaving a massive, nasty gash as this Cabalist with the crow gets removed from the battlefield. And that Cypher Lord still has a single activation, and he's just going to stride forward confidently to hold the position on that platform. And there is now one less Corvus Cabal to score at the end of this turn. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think the Cypher Lords have it, because the Corvus Cabal now have to activate one of their models. They only have 3 remaining, and I don't know what this Spire Stalker can do because it only has a 1-inch attack range, and there's no way to get into attack with any of my models without, even if he goes on the ground and then hops back up this bridge. I played it the way I wanted to. I wanted a bottleneck at the bridge, and it worked. I think that might be it. I think we could probably call it there and say that the Cypher Lords have won, unless we should play it out. I mean, I don't. The rules don't say that you can finish in the middle of a game. If you played kill teams, or I think it was your Shadow War Armageddon, there's a rule that you can bottle out. And you can say, I'm done, I'm leaving. I don't want any more of my models to get injured and potentially take wounds. But that rule is not written anywhere in the Warcry rulebook. I think that you need to play it out, and I think that you need to take those injuries. This is the Trial of Champions after all. So we're going to do it. We are going to play it out and see what happens and see how this thing is going to end. So Corvus have to activate a model. If they activate their leader, he's not going to be able to get into attack range. Gosh, man. I don't know what they're going to do. I genuinely don't know what to do. If this was your game, if I was playing against you and you were playing as the Corvus Cabal, what would you have this Spire Stalker do? He can't get into attack with anybody. It only moves 5 inches. I could add one of my attack and get to here, but then I can't get to here by enough to legally stand on it. I can't jump across this platform. I cannot get there and do a legal movement. And I don't have a long enough attack to attack anyone above. I can use this triple. If I use the triple, I can make a swooping attack. I'll get a bonus move action. Then I can make a bonus attack action, which won't pay off. But then I can make a move and another attack. So what I could do with this Spire Stalker is I can move 5 inches. I'll get that bonus move. I'll get a bonus attack, which won't pay off. And then I can move 5 inches, right? I can't attack, because then I got to move to get up into attack. Oh, man. What about over here? What if we run this way? What if we make a bonus move this way? 5 inches. Okay. Oh, I'm stuck. And then I'll move 5 inches. Everything fell. Okay, so I would get a bonus 5-inch move, which would bring me to here. And then a free attack, which would be wasted. And then I would move 5 inches on my first activation. And then climb. That would be all of my activations. There is nothing eventful that I can do with the Corvus Cabal that will pay off in any way, so I'm going to call it. That's the game. The Cypher Lords all that beaking they did at the beginning of the game, calling out the Corvus Cabal for not having enough paint. Yeah, I heard it. I'm over the table. I can see what they're saying. It came true. The Cypher Lords have won their first convergence by a landslide. I mean, they probably could have done more damage if the Corvus had committed, but you know, they don't want to sustain injuries either. If this was their campaign, they might have actually backed away, so they didn't take injuries either, instead of just throwing their carcasses basically for the Cypher Lords to just chop and decimate. So I hope this was fun for you. It was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy making these videos. I'm going to keep making them all summer because it's a lot of fun for me, and I want to finish this campaign. I'm trying to build these Cypher Lords up so that they can fight a giant, and once Games Workshop opens back up, I'm going to pick up some more cool-ass monsters. I've been really hoping to get one of those, that Magic Minotaur. I can't remember the name of it right now for some stupid reason, but I've been wanting to add one of those guys to the warband for a long time. I got a friend who has one of the zombie dragons. I'm going to have the Cypher Lords fight a zombie dragon. Who doesn't want to watch a zombie dragon fight? I know I do. So there's a lot of cool stuff headed your way. I'm still working on making these better. I hope this one was a little more engaging and a little smoother than the first two, and I hope that those ones were engaging and entertaining too. I hope we started out strong and that we're just getting stronger, because this is fun for me. I hope it's fun for you. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for embracing the narrative with me. So keep your dice on the table, and may all your rolls be sixes.